Hi and welcome to another Real Scapers podcast. We are here to discuss the June behind the scenes 2014. I'm here with Ben, John, and Will Smithitz. How are you guys?
Great.
We are
Pretty
doing
good,
wonderful.
How is everyone? Are we all dandy and fine, John? You got some news to tell these people?
Yeah, I got my comp cape. It's beautiful, shiny, and pixelated, and I could not be happier. The funny thing is, I didn't get the comp cape because of the accomplishment. I got the comp cape because it's really awesome, like stat-wise, and has all the benefits in it. It was not at all like I want to complete the game. It was like, oh man, this is really good for PVM. So
Like
I went ahead and got that. I mean, I still had to do everything. So I love the game and I played through it. You know, so it's not like I could avoid all that. But my main goal for getting that was like, this is really good and helpful. How about you, Ben? Anything new with you?
Nah, mate.
Callum, any exciting Scape news?
No.
No.
Real life news, yes. Scape news, not really.
And how about you, Will? Anything exciting in your life?
Well, I got invited to this podcast, so I got that going. Which is nice.
That's about it. That's about all that's going in my life is this podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are here to discuss, as Callum said, the BTS of June. We do have some pretty interesting updates for the month. Callum is very excited for this. Don't steal these updates. Okay.
Stand and deliver, John.
Actually, you should probably lay down when you deliver. That's bad advice.
Whoa!
You went there.
Anyway,
Less than 2 minutes in, and we're already on that topic. Well done, Real Scapers.
Yep, we've come to a whole new level. Anyway, the first update for the month. As I was saying, there's not a whole bunch of like major multiple updates, but there are all the updates that are happening are actually pretty interesting and fairly big in themselves.
Yeah.
The first one is the Legacy Mode and Combat Improvements beta. So, Legacy Mode, for you guys who maybe have not played RuneScape since 3 years ago or something. It's basically the old school RuneScape, but with today's graphics. The bringing back the special abilities, basically click on something combat. Dragon Claws being the bane of my existence in the wilderness. All these different things. Basically, it's to kind of help revitalize the PvP community because with the EOC coming out, that did kind of die out pretty fast. I don't see the Legacy beta being so much for the PVM aspects, but the PvP. One thing that I find kind of interesting is it says Legacy Mode and Combat Improvements beta. I find it funny that they're calling Legacy Mode the Combat Improvements beta because I don't see anything listed about the EOC having new combat improvements. So I thought they'd be trying to tweak the EOC more, but that's apparently not a thing. But let's kind of just go down the line a little bit from my screen. Callum, your thoughts on Legacy Mode? I know we had a discussion on my channel about this, but how about you? What are your thoughts on this?
Whoa. Look, I'm actually probably going to use it quite a bit. I've kind of changed my mind a few times. I'll probably change my mind again when it actually comes out. But I think once I finished and I've got Comp Cape or Max Cape, I'm probably going to go for 120 range or Slayer, and having that old setup for Slayer and range and combat, just PVM, is really just going to make things simple and easy and relaxing. So I don't have to feel like I don't have to intensify my grind as much.
I guess that makes sense. Ben, how about you?
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I probably won't end up using it all that much. I mean, I'll definitely stick with the current combat system for PVM, which is what I do most. I've never been much for PvP. I always was super shit. But I might get inspired by some of the new PKing coming out. I might give it a try, but I'm not feeling the hype so much. Some of the other parts of the update I'm looking forward to, such as the reintroduction of the special attacks. I think that's pretty cool. And the new 138 combat formula I think is pretty cool. I sort of miss that. And I don't know, to be honest, the 201 just isn't that good in my opinion, but yeah.
Will, how much are you going to be using Legacy Mode?
I'm looking forward to this update, John. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, probably improvements, best update of the year for me. No, but you know, it's something that players want, and I think that as long as most possible people are happy, then I'm happy, you know.
Yeah.
But when you
so,
go
yeah.
back to, because of this update, when you go back to a level 3 skiller,
Yes, I will. I've been talking about this so many times on my own channel. Like in the comment section of my videos, people go all the time like, "Why do you talk about this all the time?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'll calm down." But pretty much skillers can get reset and stuff like that, which I've been mentioning a lot, which is going to be good. So I can remain combat 3, even though I'll have technically combat stats now, like prayer and hit points. I'm a skiller for those of you who don't know that, but yeah. So,
How
but
do you,
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be okay.
how do you feel about spending so much money on these certain skills like prayer, and then they're just like, by the way, we're setting you back?
Well, no. It was a risk I take though. Like when you train those kind of stats and you spend money, and yeah, it's a risk I took, and I knew it could happen, so I don't mind it too much.
That's
But to
kind
be
of
fair, I think when an update comes out, you would assume that it's going to stay like that. You don't keep assuming that all of these systems are going to keep changing back and forth. I think that you should have some sort of
Yeah.
security knowing that when an update comes out, you can, you know, play it safely, I guess.
yeah,
And
because
so,
I mean that's a pretty penny to spend on prayer.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and a decent amount of time as well. Which I thought was kind of interesting because Will, I thought at RuneFest, didn't you say you talked to a JMon? They're like, oh yeah, the combat system's not going to be changed anytime soon.
Yeah,
and then 2 months later, it's like, hey, legacy mode.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, but I think it's pretty much because they didn't really plan it at the
Yeah.
time, I guess. So
I think they saw the hype and stuff, and they may have been discussing it, and then they just put their foot down. So I'm not saying that JMod lied to you. They probably just weren't aware of the
Yeah.
current
Yeah, that's
standards
what I
and
think
the
as
things
well.
that were going on. So I just feel bad for you because that was the whole reason why you went for 99 prayer, right? Was because you felt confident in that, or did you have 99
no.
before
It
that?
was well. I didn't train it for a very long time because I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to turn back. So when I did train it, it was mainly because I was told that it wasn't going to turn back. So, but yeah, as I said, you know, I knew about the risk that it could still change. It was never actually said anywhere that it was going to remain that way. So I kind of took the risk. But as I said, I didn't really mind it as much as I could have minded it. I do have video proof that I did it after all. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
I kind of, so yeah, no one can say that. Well, no one can say that I didn't do it. Yeah.
pretty much.
Yes.
And what about the
exactly.
old Legacy interface? That's coming back as well with the Legacy mode. Opinions on the Legacy interface?
Ben, your video is like lagging behind for me. It's hilarious. You just finished your sentence.
it's like a
right there.
really bad synced film.
It is.
I'm kidding.
Anyway,
I'm taking this mask off. I feel like an idiot.
the legacy interface I think is pretty nice. I mean, I do kind of miss that non-congested. Like, I'm not sure. Like, if you guys ever watch me stream, you've probably seen my layout. I basically have every combat interface physically available on my screen at one time. And people who watch my stream are like, "How do you get anything done?" Like, and the thing is like, well, I practice, and now I have access to all buttons at all times because I just know where they are. So I mean, like, taking the time to do that has brought me some reward for it, but at the same time, like, it's just so congested, and being able to go back to like a simple format, if I wanted to do Legacy, like I said, with the PvP aspect, and probably like Callum said, Slayer, it'll be nice. Your guys' thoughts at all?
I don't
have
know what
thoughts
you're
all the
talking
time.
about.
What game is this for?
This is League of Legends, yeah.
Welcome to the League of Legends podcast, guys. So here with the real skaters. My opinions, I don't know. I think I like the nostalgia aspect of it. You know, my past from RuneScape sort of makes me somewhat attracted to aspects of it. I like the simplicity of it, like you said. But then at the same time, I don't know, it just looks so ugly when I compare it to the new interface now. It's all brown and
Yeah.
sort of stodgy and outdated, and I don't know.
But you hate all those cosmetic overrides for the retro armors, but I love them.
Yeah, I do.
See, I don't know. It's weird. I think RuneScape is such a bizarre game because it's very rare that people prefer. I mean, so many people have preferred the old style and the old look of RuneScape to the one now, which is so rare because like you think people want to see games advancing, and RuneScape looks amazing now, and I wouldn't change it for the world, but I can see where people are coming from.
Yeah, it's that whole nostalgia thing for some
Yeah.
people.
It's crazy. It's crazy nostalgia. Like I like repping the retro rune armor. It's great.
One thing for me though is like I love nostalgia and I love like doing things, but like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I have not played A Link to the Past from Super Nintendo in forever, and I'll play it for like 3 hours and I'll probably not play it again. Like I just wanted that nostalgic, like I'm playing this old game again, which I think is kind of a weird thing that they're trying to bank on for people. Is just like this old feeling to bring people back and keep them back. Like of course it's going to bring a handful of players back to the game, and probably a little bit more promotion in case some of those bigger names on YouTube do start making RuneScape videos again. It's definitely going to help out. But I do have to say, banking on a nostalgic feeling is kind of an interesting tactic. But I mean, more power to them if it is something that settles the community out very well.
Well, as long as it's not going to hurt anyone. I mean, I remember us being pretty upset about this decision, but I think if they're going to work in a way that's not going to interrupt the main game too much, then it doesn't matter. So be it. I mean, if it means for more people to come into the game, let's do it. As long as I can have my changeable interface, they can have their non-changeable interface. I don't know why you'd want that, but anyway.
No, what I'm very confused about is how it's going to affect the newer players of RuneScape, because if they accidentally click something and the entire game changes.
What the fuck just happened?
Exactly, though. Like, what are they going to do? How are they going to be introduce all this kind of buttons and tactics and methods and whatever? And what are they going to think that one way or another is the best kind of method? And the first player they ask, but what's the best thing to do? They're gonna explain whatever they think is best. For example, if they're really a fan of old school or whatever, they're gonna probably say legacy is the best thing,
To me personally, I think the best way, and this isn't just like I know you just said the person will describe the best way to do it. But for me, I think a really easy way for new players, at least, is to have every single player who starts RuneScape go in legacy mode. So they're just playing the game normally, and then they basically get hey, if you want to take full control of your combat and want to maximize your DPS, there's an option to make this game manual. And then you can go ahead and, utilize these abilities. You'll be more open to more bosses, because, I mean, low-level players aren't going to the Catfight King in the first place. So there's no reason why they would need to use abilities or Virago or something.
And it's
that's
quite overwhelming.
It is quite overwhelming. So starting off in Legacy will allow them to learn the game easily, the mechanics, the world, the combat, being able to get their skills, their gold. It just makes the game very easy for them. And then as soon as it goes on and later into the game, be like, hey, if you want more control and you want to be able to do high-level PVM, there's a method for that, and it's called the EOC.
But they're not going to do that, though, are they? Because I remember them saying they're going to encourage the current combat system.
Yeah, and I understand that as well. Like, if they made the legacy mode the main thing for new players, then they have to rewrite the tutorial again, and they just released Ashdale. And I would feel sorry for that place if they have to rewrite everything just because of legacy
They're not
mode.
taking away Ashdale. Ashdale is staying where it is.
That's the thing,
It's staying where it is, Will.
It's never gonna change. I love that. I still love the last podcast when I'm like, the Church of You is gonna go in Ashdale, and Callum's just like, oh no.
I'm dead serious. I don't want anything changed about that place.
Callum, I'm sorry. The Church of You is going in Ashdale. You've saved the city.
The best update this year was when they put a bank in Ashdale. Okay, that was. Now I can skill. It's not so great because it's not on top of the. It's not like on land. It's like in the cave. But
why is it in the
still
cave?
a step forward.
It's a bank where no one else can interrupt you.
I want to fletch by myself, okay? Just leave me alone.
Like, I would seriously use Ashdale for kind of bank skilling and whatever. That would be like the place to go for newer noobs and colors.
Absolutely. No, wait, whoa. Or high level players, because it's cool for high player levels players to like go back to newbie areas and skill, because that's cool, okay? All right? Just shut up.
Man, this level 4 just told you off, Callum.
Get wrecked.
All right.
I'm so wrecked right now.
Alrighty, so we kind of went over that pretty...
Such a bad joke.
So we kind of went over the legacy mode, our basic ideas, and everything. We do have a bunch of concerns in case you want to go to the Tireless Guide YouTube channel, kind of just talking about the things that we saw that might have happened or that could come with it. Our ideas have changed with it because we've kind of grown a little bit more and we've received a lot more information. But if you do want to check out that podcast, that's on my channel. Coming up next, let's go with Callum. Do you want to tell us about The Mighty Fall?
I have not read it, but that's okay. I'll pretend I
You know, this BTS isn't at all about learning about the BTS and then talking about it.
Well, let's learn it together, everyone. Okay, so I'll read it.
We should do that next time. We're just going to go in blindly. None of us read the BTS, and we're just like, okay.
The first 5 minutes are going to be, whoa!
Well, guys.
Server shutting down. Oh.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, John. This new quest is called The Mighty Fall. It is a members-only quest. It's a master-level quest. It has a whole lot of level requirements. And it looks like Bandos is in it. Well, he's not, because he's dead.
Well said, Callum. I'll take over from here if you want to.
Thank you, Ben.
Ben was supposed to take over the lore stuff. I'm here for
This isn't lore. This is just a quest.
Alright. Pretty much,
Details.
Bandos is really, really, really dead. And so all of his followers are now arguing about who should be the new leader, what should happen now, should we swap to another god? I don't know. So basically we've got all these big, ugly ogres and trolls who are fighting over power, who's going to be the next god. I don't know how they plan on doing that. But it appears that you're going to be going through and fighting a lot of them with this brand new weapon, which looks really cool. It's a two-handed weapon, and I don't really know... What's it called?
I forget. It's in the BTS video. They mentioned
it
once.
somewhere, but yeah, I can't remember that off the top of my head.
It looked pretty cool. It was huge.
It seems kind of impractical, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I'm sure a sword would suffice, but no, this giant curved piece of metal thing. Sure, let's go with it.
Yeah, everyone
judging
knows
by
that
the...
if something's curved, it's better.
It is.
It's logic.
I'm just
Please, Will.
I'm just not going to go into that.
Yes, Will.
what I do,
Everyone,
like-
serious face and nod. Yes, curved is better.
Yes, Will.
Yes.
That's how I know things at least. Stop bullying me just because I'm a skiller. I know my combat. Curved swords are the thing.
The curved one. Alright. You right there, Callum?
Yeah, sorry,
Good.
I'm delirious. Anyway, yep.
Fantastic. Alright, so, judging based on the requirements, it requires 79 attack and 79 strength, so I'm going to assume they're the requirements to wield this big mofo of a weapon. I think that's a good idea, so it doesn't really devalue Chaotix. People have worked all the time for their Chaotix, they'll still be of value. It won't be quite as good as Chaotix, but it'll be better than everyone's DC. Sorry about that, everyone. We appear to have cut out everyone at the same time, which was very weird. But anyway, as I was saying, I think it's good that they left the requirements for this weapon at 79 attack and defense, because not defense, strength, as to not devalue chaotic weapons. In terms of the other requirements of the quest, we've got 78 Constitution, which is quite high, and I'm not really sure why that's there, but it's good, more incentive to train Constitution. We've got 72 Defense, 69 Slayer, the Chosen Commander as a quest. We've got Missing Presumed Death as a quest, My Arms Big Adventure, and you have to have defeated Bork, that big ugly troll thing who lives in the Chaos Tunnels. That's right, right?
Yep.
Right.
Well played. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool that they're continuing on the story of Bandos even though he's dead. I know a lot of the people who followed Bandos before his untimely death will be quite happy to hear this. I'm also quite interested to see how they portray Bandos, because we'll be learning a lot about Bandos through his followers, which is a kind of different perspective to how we've seen him in the past. I know a lot of his followers have complained that everyone painted him out to be a bad guy. Which, to be fair, he was a bit of a wanker. He did throw his own followers off the top of his giant tower, but
He did.
I think it'd be good to get, a different perspective. So I think it's pretty interesting. Your guys' thoughts on the quest?
Well, you missed the most important bit. You did.
You did.
You did.
You want to take over,
Ben.
Callum?
Yeah,
I
I
think I
will.
did better
I will.
than you.
Well,
This
you
month's
just missed
quest
like a
is
vital
quest.
bit of the quest.
It has requirements.
You missed the best bit though, because this is like when we get to kill Yelps. That's part of this quest. That's like vital. We get to beat him up and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He looks pretty.
Is no one
pimpin'. He's
else-
got a big
is no one else
sword. He
into that?
might wreck you. I reckon he'll wreck you, Callum.
In the behind the scenes video, though, he was also wearing the Yelps hat, so he had like a Yelps on a
Yes.
Yelps. What was that about?
He's
I mean, it's
obviously
probably-
spawned.
That's a bit creepy, to be fair.
He has a very big ego.
Yes. Yes.
Me and Yelps have a lot of in common. Both of us die a lot.
I mean, I'm always looking forward to new quests. So I tick them off to get my quest cape back. That's about it. Let's cut that out.
Thank you for your in-depth insight there, Callum.
Cut what
I
out?
like
let's
quests.
let's cut that bit out, please. Just reverse, rewind. John, your thoughts on the quest?
No, that's staying in.
Damn
And
it,
it-
guys! I'll get you back at Roomfest.
My thoughts on the quest, interesting. I was very... I'm kind of interested in how this quest would have played out had Armadale lost the world event and everything, and seeing who would try to be going for the Armadale position. And also just kind of how... I mean, like, this seems like a very detailed big quest and everything, so seeing how it would have played out in the other favor would be very interesting. I'm not so into the lore, like, I know a good handful, I don't know everything, though. So, I'd be very cool to see who would be the ones trying to take over, and also how Yelps would have played into that.
That's gonna be exciting. Well, what I'm speculating quite a lot about is that the quest is about finding the new god for, well, replace Bandos. And obviously the player is going to participate in this, and everyone knows that the player is going to wreck everyone. So is the player going to turn out as the new god? Or kind of leader?
Ooh. That's true. That's true. Because you do have to fight pretty much all of these guys who want to claim the new position.
And the chances are that you're going to beat up everyone. Like, you pretty much
Yeah.
beat Bandos-ish.
Maybe
seeing
you get
as-
the
sorry.
choice. Maybe when you defeat everyone, maybe you get the choice of who
Yeah.
is in charge.
Exactly.
I feel like giving you the position of like the new leader would be horrible, because then in a sense the game is forcing you to be like a Bandosian follower, like, you know,
Or
like
Bandos.
Maybe
well,
you
Not
rule all
necessarily.
these
Not
people.
necessarily.
You get
The
a
NPCs, they would follow you, but you wouldn't follow them. So you can like still be like the guardian of Gothics and whatever, and you still have like a ton of orcs following you around, you know.
Yeah, so maybe
That's how it
maybe
works.
they will support your cause. Like, if you're a follower of Armadale, then they may choose to follow you. If you've
You
beaten
convert
all of their
them,
leaders, you could show that, you know, your path is
Yeah.
the right path or whatever. Also, the other point, which I failed to mention, do you guys remember the whole Tusker thing? You know, there was the new Harbingers of Tusker that came out. What are they called? Their actual names? The
Erots.
beasts? Erots, yeah.
there it's
They're,
yeah.
they're
Hey.
followers of Tusker, and Tusker was presumably going to be the new war god, because she apparently just likes chaos and is a big ugly boar thing, which is kind of like a troll. So I'm going to wonder if Tusker's going to play a part in the new quest. Just my
I would
2 cents.
assume so, just somewhere in there.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Alright.
Damn it, Callum.
So moving up next, we got the Skill Champas. Does anyone want to take this, or should I go ahead and do it again?
You
I
should do
reckon
it
Will
again.
should take this. Will is
Will.
the
Yeah, Will.
Okay.
resident skiller.
So the skill champas are the rip-off of the golden champa pet, because everyone found them so cute and furry, and they just want to kill them until they explode, literally. So what they're doing is that they're putting skillty champas in the game. You can hunt these for mining, fishing, woodcutting, and divination. And when you have these, you can pretty much like throw them at the skilling spot for some bonus XP, a 10% bonus base XP. And it's for the hunter levels ranging from levels 27 to 89. Not reading this at all. And yes, that's pretty much it. So it's pretty much a skilling device for you to spend some time in hunter, include hunter more in your daily skilling life, and get some bonus XP in some fancy skills.
I also read or heard on
Beautiful.
the actual video BTS, not only will you get a passive 10% increase to your experience gained, but it will also increase like the frequency of which you gather the resources.
Yes.
Yeah,
So overall it'll be even faster than just the 10%.
true. So it's a 10% bonus
Thoughts on
and
that?
more
Because it essentially
resources.
makes a lot of non-viable skills somewhat viable, or at least faster if you've got money.
Yes, I want to talk a
true.
little bit about that because I'm extremely excited for this, mainly because I really like the concept of being able to hunt a little bit extra or something, like the skill jumpers, you know, it's gonna just hunt them and you use them for more XP and everything. And I found that a really interesting and pretty amazing concept, but I'm just worried for what you're saying that people can just buy this off the grinded change and the richest player gets the most XP, which I don't really want happen.
Well,
So
that all depends if they're
hopefully
tradable.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just realized if they're non-tradable, then that would be really interesting. It gives so much more incentive to actually train
Yes.
your own hunter level. That way, because it increases the rate of all of your other skills or the skills which the skill jumpers affect. So that'd be
Yes.
really cool, actually.
Which then begs the question, players who are already 99 hunter, what's the incentive for them to go, you know, do the skill chinchompas and catch them? Because they could probably gain more XP just doing the other skill. So, I mean, that's one thing to think about.
well, that was something I was thinking about as well. Like, is it actually worth doing this? Like, if you're training like mining or fishing or whatever, is it actually worth getting these, well, or hunting them yourself with this and use them on the skilling plots? And let's say that you're not 99 hunter and you decide to gain these on your way to 99 hunter. What is the XP ratio and whatever? Like you said, actually worth hunting these for the XP. And if they are tradable, that's probably a really good money-making method for less rich players.
Definitely, because the rich players are probably going to be the ones buying these in the first
Exactly.
place. So they're
So
going to
price is
maintain a
gonna
fairly good
be
value.
high, yeah. So if it's tradable, then richer players are technically gonna be able to boost their own XP, but not that rich players gonna be able to get some money as well. So it's a very weird way of a win-win situation.
I think either way, it's adding a lot of value to Hunter, which, as a skill, I
Yes.
think Hunter really needed. At the moment, there's just no real incentives.
Does anyone else like thoroughly enjoy being able to throw explosive devices at Guthix's memories? Like just while you're trading divination, you're just like boom, boom. Actually, the funny thing is, looking, I mean, that's like what you're doing, but like in the BTS video, like the way that those things are shaped, the divination spots, it looks like you're just throwing them into like a portal and they're disappearing. Like, bye, bye.
How many can it fit?
Just some other random place across Gill, and all these chin chomps just keep popping out of nowhere. Where am I?
No, they're just coming out of that Elder Rift from the new quest. Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna call dibs on that video. I'm gonna take that concept and make a good machine.
Please do that.
Yes.
That's actually fine. I would actually love to see that video.
Yeah.
Like, are these exploding or?
Um,
My God. Help me. Yeah. Okay.
hey Ben, can the thumbnail for this podcast be Mod Timbo's face when he says and then bathed in glorious bonus XP?
That's
The-
Mod
Yes.
Raven, but yeah.
Oh, Mod Raven, not Timbo. Oh, I suck.
Timbo.
I'm not going to edit that out.
Please
Use the
edit that
name wrong
out.
on
Please
stream.
edit that out. No, they're gonna hate me.
If we had Mod Timbo as our picture, we would have to make sure there were no trees in the BTS picture.
They will probably bathe in bonus XP and Chinchompa body parts.
John, you cut this out now.
What am I cutting out?
Me talking, me stuffing up mod names. I'm an embarrassment to Jagex.
You're so bad at this game, Callum.
I'm so
No,
bad at this
we
game.
were gonna invite you out for the super secret beta, but you called Mod Raven Mod Timbo, so nah. You don't know us. I thought we were friends.
Oh well, it happens.
Alrighty. And moving on. Ooh, Callum just got laid. So moving on, we got the Road to Elf City and graphical improvements. Oh man, I'm gonna have to censor out your screen now. So basically a whole divvy of information about the new items. There's a new bonus pack right now. If you buy 3 months of membership, which you can buy with bonds, by the way, for those of you who don't know, you can buy them, and you can go ahead and you get Pendant, which gives you a chance of receiving, I think it's like 25 of these items or something, and then you got to put it together to make the Crystal Tree Seed, or trade it for the Crystal Tree Seed. You get 3 basically small lamps every day, which is yeah, the fragments, which is equal to a small lamp. That's pretty OP every day, getting 3 small lamps.
Was that every day?
Yeah, it's every day.
Oh man, I thought it was every week, so I haven't been cashing them in.
Yeah, it's every day. And then there's a new aura that for the entirety of summer, I think until August, There's going to be weekly resets on the aura, and you get 2 hours of uninterrupted double experience every week. So basically just stack up and turn on your aura, then for 2 hours, yes, Ben, just like that. For 2 hours, go ahead and just get as much experience as you can, which is actually very interesting.
From what I read, it resets every Wednesday.
It should do whatever, like, I think they're going to go off what is at the Citadel
because you can use them now, but it resets on Wednesday. So if you want to get the first one in, I recommend doing it now until Wednesday because it resets then. I'm pretty sure that's what it said. So I thought it would start every Monday because I was like, oh, should I do it now? Then I realized I read it up saying it was Wednesday. So
yeah. And also, in case you guys have a 12-month membership, Gold or Premier Club, you guys already have these items. You probably noticed them in your bank already, I'm assuming. But just a heads up, they are in your bank. You don't need to buy any more membership or anything for that. So we have a quest coming out as well for the Elf City. It requires a bunch of level 75s. 75 agility, 75 construction, 75 crafting, 75 dungeoneering, 75 herblore, 75 mining, 79 prayer, 75 range, 75 summoning. I think I said 79 somewhere, but it's 75. 75 summoning, 75 wood cutting, the catapult construction, and the quest Within the Light done. You know, Within the Light was actually probably one of the easiest Elf City quests that I've done. Surprisingly, I thought it was going to be terrible. But the Elf City is coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's been forever and ever and ever since we've wanted to get through those crystal gates, and we're finally going to be able to go there very soon. Very, very excited to do this. There's not too much about the quest for the summer, but did I just hear a phone dial? I swear I just heard a phone dial. There's not too much information. Oh my gosh, Callum, I can't hear you at all. Callum, talk.
I think we know where the sound
I think we found where the phone dial came from.
No, I muted it.
Your mute sounds like someone pushing a button on a phone.
Like 10 people just came into my house just then. I muted the... Yeah, sorry.
Okay. But yeah, so the Elf City's coming out. Not too much information on the quest itself, but we do have 3 documents talking about the Elf City. Guys, updates and things that you are interested in for the Elf City.
Graphics.
The Max Garden sounds pretty sexy.
I'd be interested because they're having the Max place and the comp place, yeah?
Yeah. Well, the Max and comp is the same thing.
Oh, so it's going to be in the same place?
Yeah, the only difference is if you have a comp cape, you get to sit on a throne.
I see. I'd be interested to see how much people would actually use these places.
You're interested, like they're not going to use these places?
I don't like it because I was reading up about them. There's like a whole bunch of people just talking in my background. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
I'm just like, I don't know. Max Play is actually going to use this area.
Well,
I would say yes. Have you read the documents, Callum?
Yeah.
Okay, because the documents, you have like portals to almost every major boss. You have the highest level skilling for some things, but it's restricted. You have basically you have your player-owned ports. There's going to be a whole new dungeoneering area. There's going to be a new Slayer Master. Basically, they wanted to find out what high-level players do, and they're putting it in the city, which is pretty interesting.
In that case, I guess they would use it then, wouldn't they?
The sad thing. Oh my gosh! Yes.
He's a school teacher.
And he never taught again.
Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
We are not editing this out.
That is so good.
Yeah, sorry. Back to what I was actually saying. What I meant by it was, I really hope they do this place justice because I've been looking forward to this place for a very long time, and I just hope they do it justice because I want this to be like a new place to hang out, to do social skilling and stuff. So I just really hope they do it justice. That's all I was saying.
So you want it to be the new Ashdale, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Basically, want it to be like Ashdale, but actually have point to it.
What are your thoughts on placing the Church of You in this new Prifddinas place?
Well, as long as it's not in Ashdale, I'm okay with it. As long as everything just stays away from Ashdale, maybe put a couple of banks in, I'm happy.
One thing that I am kind of concerned about, though, is I feel like they're putting way too much stuff in there, and like there are so many high-level things. The Slayer Master, you're like everything is in there.
All the different clans, everything.
Yeah, like your portal to player-owned ports, and there's even going to be a Grand Exchange in there as well. So, like, when I stare at this, I'm like, are low-level players going to see high-level players anywhere? Like,
That's actually a really good point.
Like,
I mean,
like even Dungeoneering, like the only time they'd like see us at the other Dungeoneering is because they're selling floors. And I mean, for the most part, people who do Dungeoneering and want the best experience want to be with the best players, so they're going to be in the best spot, which is people with, you know, max 99 Dungeoneering or something like that. So, like, I'm just worried that high-level players are just going to be taken out from the main view of the game, and they're just going to be restricted to this, look at our high-level stuff. I wish you could come, couldn't you? You know, like, that's my one concern is that. But, I mean, I'm interested in everything that's coming with this. There's way too much to talk about, though, for this podcast. I don't want this to drag on way too long.
What I'm kind of thinking about that, though, is that, like, imagine that you've been working really hard in your account. You're getting up there. You can finally enter the most amazing city in RuneScape that you heard so much about. And you kind of go in the main gates, and all you see is activity everywhere, like high-level players skilling over there, some people doing dungeon settings over there, like doing their pores and stuff like that. You can see people doing things everywhere. And you're kind of like, yeah, this is where I'm going to hang out and I'll get friends, and yeah.
What's true, it's definitely going to get so much hype, and it's going to be such an incentive
That is
for people
pretty
to
cool
train their
thought,
levels
though.
up to that point.
Because,
But
like, at
that's
the
the thing, they're
moment,
going to make it good, but not too good.
No, it's like when you first became a member, and you walked kind of to this various members area for the very first time. There's some kind of activity and people doing things everywhere. Like, wow, this is so cool, you know. And I think this is going to be the very same thing about that. The people doing things everywhere, and yeah.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, that's a good thought.
Very true.
But I don't know what the requirements to enter the city is. I know it's some basic stuff, but how high level is high level?
They said 70. They said, what did they say, 75? Which I
Yeah,
thought
75.
was
Well, that's 1 million XP.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty low.
Like, you can get
Yeah.
that in like 2 days, ish, not almost. So I'm
Well,
thinking,
It also requires all the quests to get there
all
as
the
well.
quests.
Oh, really?
No, not all the quests. Like all the quests to get to the Elf City, like within the Light, Morning's End Part 2, and all those stuff.
They're
Yeah,
horrible.
there's a few quests though. Like, you should have the World Wakes in there.
To get
Just
to the
guess.
Elf City.
Yeah.
Just because.
No, like, because it's a transition from the 5th stage to the 6th stage. And I feel like the Elf City should have some kind of major story behind it, whereas it opens because it feels it needs to protect people after Gothic Start or something like that.
I am actually extremely convinced that that should be a thing now.
Yes.
Not just a case of,
It's actually one of the
well,
best.
we can
like,
open
out
our
of this
doors
entire-
today.
No,
Come on
like
in, guys,
Saren.
we're
Saren
open.
has. I mean, like Saren has been hiding in there all the time, and she knows that Gothic died, and she's worried how it's gonna go with Gillinor. She just opens up the city to protect the elite or something like that.
Or just like someone's like, hey Tim, did you ever turn on the open sign in the front of the city? Oh no, it's been like 9 years. I hear click. There we go.
There is
Just
the
a ton of people
explanation
shows
why
up at
there's been
once.
no Prifddinas for the past 9 years.
Video idea right there again. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that'd be horrible. But Will, I'm actually like, I hope some JMod watches this video. That's a really cool idea. I like that.
Oh,
Like
thank
that,
you.
The whole reason why they're opening up their gates is for that. That'd be really, really awesome.
Writing
Here's
lore
my,
as we speak.
stupid question, but do you have to have done combat to have access to this place? Like, can skillers access Prifddinas?
No, because of the quests, which requires combat. Plus, it kind of says
Yeah.
there. There's actually no combat. Oh, there it is. Range 75.
Yep.
Yep.
And
right there.
summoning 75
I
as
kind
well.
of feel
See,
like
I feel like
axe
skillers
should have
at
some
that
access
at that
to
level,
Prifddinas.
like at that
No.
level,
I feel like it should be some kind of total level
Total level,
requirement
yeah.
for some people. Like, we wouldn't necessarily have to access everywhere, because obviously there's could be that one max skater be like, I don't want to be level 4 here, you know. So I think that it could be like a small little area for those of us who kind of just want to spectate.
Yeah. No, I agree, because, you know, to get the full access, you would have to have done all the quests, which obviously
Yeah.
requires combat. But I think, you know, having a max skill, or, you know, having those kind of stats is achievement enough to warrant access to the
Definitely.
city, or at least
There should be
section
like
of
a
it.
there should be
max
like a
guide or
roundabout
something.
way for them to get to the
Yeah,
city.
definitely.
Well, it
But
could be like
they
a little
don't-
trading docks or something. Kind of could take the boat over there and could trade some people or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah,
Or
like
something
that,
like
that
that.
would be useful. And then like if they try like exiting the city, like to get to the places where it's only your city requirement, you know, like a guard would stop you or something and be like, "Halt! You don't have the requirement to access our wilderness," or something like that. You know.
Yeah.
So like there's still that quest requirement to get into that area and everything. But I would love, and I really, really do hope that they give access to the city to skillers in some way, even if it's some like it sounds horrible, like a gated off community where they can stay. You know?
Hashtag RS segregation.
Like all the comm cables are
like a
outside, like,
class
oh, look
war."
at the skillers. Oh, that one's fletching.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, look at them trying to do a dungeon. Oh, that's funny. Oh, they died again. Oh,
GTGD.
I bet you he'll die more than 25 times. Oh, oh.
I love how
gonna
we
make
pretty
this
much
video
all
tireless.
inadvertently just insulted Will.
No, I get it all the time. Don't worry.
He understands.
I'm used to this.
Oh.
Oh man,
really
but yeah, that'd be nice if they open it up in some way. Are there any other thoughts, you guys, on the Elflands?
Well,
I-
I kind
I
of want
really
to bring
like-
up the levels again. Like 75, that's, as I said, it's 1 mil XP. I'm not very surprised that's high level enough. I'm really surprised. Can't they just put in like a random level 90? Like
Yeah.
everything's 75, just like this random level 90 of some hard skill.
I
Divination.
I
reckon
feel
it
like
should be on
75
quest
isn't
points
that
or total
big of
level.
a deal.
Yeah. Like, at
it should
least
be-
85, that's 3 mil XP.
I feel like we had this discussion before.
We have,
with
I'm just
players
poking at it, I'm
complaining.
sorry. Just
Oh no
going.
no! I'm just saying no. I'm not saying like in this BTS. I'm saying like in like the way past, like beforehand. I think me, Callum, and Ben talked about it's like quests actually having like high level requirements, but the players, you know, always complain. Like the Firemaker's Curse had a level 90 fire making requirement, and then they're
yeah.
like, oh, never mind, it's gonna be like 70 now. like there was
Because
actually a
people complain.
quest that had a very high level requirement, and they changed it because everyone was complaining about it.
No, but
and
what could be a thing here though is that people kind of want to have their quest capes, and kind of therefore it shouldn't be really incredibly high requirements. But what they could
Yeah,
do
that's
is to
true.
have some kind of next to requirement to enter the main city. Like in order to actually enter a city, you need to have this level or something like that.
Well, it's really interesting that you're talking about that, because the latest poll, one of the polls is, what was it? What's the most important thing to access a quest, whatever the question is? And majority of people are saying level requirements. So I think it's
Yeah.
like majority of people are saying level requirements. So maybe people are changing their mind.
What,
Oh,
what
yeah.
are your thoughts on that poll, by the way? What do you think should constitute a high-level quest?
I think level requirements. I think that's a really solid.
I really think level requirements as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I was thinking...
I think I
I
voted
know.
something else actually, but I agree-ish.
Like, I
Survey
don't think
requested
it's,
for-
It's a combination of them all, really.
I voted
You should
on-
have a challenging boss fight. You should have the high-level
Yeah,
requirements. You should
just-
have high-level lore.
But the latest quests I've really enjoyed, and they've been really exciting and not too difficult in terms of puzzles or anything. And I think if they start going to those long, like, what was it?
I don't want it to be like Elemental Workshop kind of
Yeah,
quest,
exactly.
but I mean...
I just feel like if you've got the stats, you should be able to play. You should be able to do really cool length, cool quests that aren't too strenuous on the brain. So you have to think too much.
Yeah. Personally, on that vote thing, I voted for the quest length because they don't really think that you can have a quest that's like 2 hours long and it's novice, you know. It kind of
Yeah,
just doesn't fit in.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
what it could be though is that you could have some kind of checklist on you when you're kind of making the quest and say that if it got that, or if it's got that, then it's a grandmaster. But if it doesn't have any of this, then it's not a grandmaster or something like that.
I remember someone talking about the new quest with the Fate of the Gods, and it was, I think it was like a Tumblr post or something, and they were like, it took me longer to do someone one small favor than to bring a god back to the realm of Gelen. And I'm just
so
like,
true.
that's upsetting to think about, but it is true. But yeah, like I said, there's a ton that we can go on with the Elf City as far as documents, the skilling plots, and everything that it involves. Was there anything like major that you guys wanted to point out as far as that? Like, there's all these documents are available. In the BTS, which I'll post in the comments, you can go there, and in the Elves portion, you can read the documents. It's all out there. But was there anything that you guys wanted to discuss specifically from those documents?
It looks pretty.
It does.
It does. It looks absolutely amazing.
There's one thing I wish the crystal weapons were slightly higher tier weapons, because I just
I reckon they're
love,
going to introduce some more crystal weapons. That are gonna
well,
be
hopefully
higher.
hopefully with invention maybe we can upgrade these weapons, because they're such great. I love the crystal bow and stuff. I just think they're
Yeah.
just really nice looking weapons. So I
They're
hope,
very nice indeed.
because they're level 75, aren't they? Are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
70
Well,
or
like 70,
75.
75, one of the two.
Yeah. So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they can change that, because I do like to use them.
I hope so as well. All right. Seems like we're wrapping that up. And last but not least, we normally don't talk about the Solomon Store and Treasure Hunter, but this month we have some particularly interesting things actually going here. In Treasure Hunter, they're bringing back the Lucky Clover promotion, which I think you guys might have remembered kind of came around about a year-ish ago when Divination came out in August. Basically, when you wear this Lucky Clover, you have a chance of getting a key token or whatever, but it's not so much a key. Then you go spin, or not spin, then you open a chest. It like kind of just does it for you, and then you get like an item, and you have a chance of receiving, anything that's in that. So that's a pretty interesting update. And there's also a room for a new item, Spring Cleaner, and it says it breaks down certain unwanted drops, either sending their components to your bank for use when skilling, or granting you bonus XP. Does anyone have any idea as to what that might bring to the game, or what that even means?
Breaks down certain unwanted drops, either sending their components to your bank.
What if it's like,
Wow.
if you get a rune plate body drop, it breaks it up into 5 rune bars or something like that? Maybe that's what it means by breaking down certain unwanted drops.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That actually
Actually,
makes
that
a
could be
lot of
kind of
sense.
that could be really cool though, because say you're getting a whole bunch of rune items, and then maybe they note them, like the rune bars are noted. That would be cool. And then
If
so
it
you don't have
turns it
to.
into something more useful to you.
Well, it says it sends the components to your bank.
And
Not so
the word
much.
components makes me think that it is something along those lines, because, the components would make up the whole, really. But I don't know.
Well,
What I would
I feel
expect
like
there is that, like you said, if you get a rune plate body, you can break it down to rune bars. But if you get rune bars, you can grant it down to like smithing bonus XP instead. So it's just not kind of
That'd
thing
be
below
cool.
there. It's nothing below like rune bars. So if you get that, you can get bonus XP.
or
but if
rune
you get,
ore.
yeah, of course. But if you get the final product, you can kind of just break it down to ore bars or whatever.
or it's the Spring Cleaner, and every time you get an herb drop, it just cleans them.
Yay!
No,
I
John.
really need that.
Don't
Do you wanna keep
encourage
going
him,
through the
Will.
hall?
Don't encourage
So-
him.
Someone at Jagex like,
What's a brilliant idea?
Wonder Raven.
In before,
Good
you know.
idea.
In before.
oh my gosh. But I have no idea what that is. I like your ideas. I do think though, if it does break it down into components, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't give 1-to-1. Like if I got a rune plate body, it might give me 3 or 4 bars if that's the
if
thing. Because
if it was 1-to-1, that would be really overpowered and sort of possibly crash a few of the resources.
oh, it definitely would, because 5 rune bars cost way more than a rune plate body.
Exactly.
So, like,
What I've noticed recently is that Jax is very good with. I was about to say price manipulation, but that's the wrong word. It's kind of how they focus things with prices on the treasure hunter. So I can imagine that. Let's say that the rune plate body costs 20k. Then if you turn that down to rune bars or components, you would get rune bars worth 20k or less.
Mhm.
So that would make
Yeah.
sense.
pretty much.
Did you guys
Yeah.
remember the wishing well plant? That was the biggest fail.
Wait, the wishing well.
I feel like things like that they should just cut out of the game. If no one uses
Yeah.
them, just cut them out.
If it's gonna, because
But
that's
the
what
wishing
happens.
well
It's
we're
just a
talking about.
You put in like an amount of money into this plant, and it would give you a amount of
Oh yeah,
random
that one.
resources
Oh,
out,
I remember that.
and it
That
just
was so
crashed
crazy.
all of
Oh
the
no!
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, the
bad.
wishing well plant. Okay, sorry, I thought you said wishing well plot.
Oh,
I was
oh, no.
thinking that
Like
kind
the
of
wishing well,
the
like
donation well in Barrow.
the
Yeah, I
charity
was like,
thing. That's not a
donating to
fail.
charity was a horrible update, Ben.
Ben, how could you? You're such an evil man.
As if you guys went along with that. If you thought that, you should have spoken up against my bigotry.
I think me and Will for a second were just staring at you like, what is wrong with you?
You're a horrible human
Fucking
being.
charities.
That was a nice thing.
Yeah, that was like so upsetting. That came out and then everyone was like, "Well, we can't gamble with players, but I can gamble with a plant." And and it was basically just like, "Let me throw in money." And then it's just like, "Cool, here's a bunch of stuff you're not going to sell."
It
Have you
makes
ever
kinda-
wanted, 50,000 needles? Well, here you go.
It makes one sound very alone, though. You say that they used to gamble with players, and now they instead gamble with plants. Like, poor people, what they do in order to get so lonely.
I kind of wonder what the wishing well plant is like now, because I don't think anyone uses it anymore.
I think we should
It
do
may
a
actually be
challenge.
worth doing because no one
I
uses
think
it.
it might be a good challenge. A few of
Um,
us all plan
Yes,
one,
okay,
and
that's a good
then
challenge idea.
Whoever
We're gonna
gets
do
the
it.
best stuff from it, we will put like a mil GP in or whatever into it, and then see what we get out of it.
Well, the thing is, isn't it a random amount of money that you put in, or do you choose?
I don't know.
I think
No,
it was
no,
like
no,
a
no,
no,
maximum
yeah,
of
no,
the
it's not
finance.
random, it's,
I think
uh,
650, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, it is based off something, right?
Yeah.
Actually,
can't,
yeah,
like,
I think
put
it
in,
might
like,
be based
2
off
mil.
your quest points or something, or total level or something.
Yes,
If it's total level,
that's it.
then yeah. Well, then that's not fair for me. I'm going to be throwing in a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'll probably win by default because I'm throwing in the most. But then again, I could get like half back or whatever.
Well, you know that on the release day, if you could pin whatever, people would put in like party hats and whatever, and they get like rune ores.
That would be sad
Cool.
if they did that.
Thank you for a party hat. Here's like 50 gold. Woo. Okay. So, anything more?
Yeah,
Well-
is there anything?
First of all, thank you, Will, for coming on to the podcast. That was
I
nice.
feel so popular every time you ask me to do stuff.
It's the first thing you've actually done anything with us. So.
And every time he's felt popular.
All those times.
So far, we're on 100% roll on feeling popular.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, well, yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Who wants
I had a
to?
blast.
It's good. I'm glad. It's good.
Good.
John, just end it. Just end it now.
And thank you
I'm
everyone
leaving,
for
I'm
coming
done.
by
Goodbye.
to this
Bye.
podcast.
Say
We
bye.
had a good time. We had a shirtless man. We had mess ups. We had Mod Timbo, or Mod Raven being called Mod Timbo. And
Claiming the
a lot of
charity.
cool updates coming out this month. So I hope you guys have a good time and enjoy the updates that come out. Thanks again to everyone, Callum, Ben, Will, and of course myself for coming by. And he somehow got a banana. So thank you everyone for coming on by. And we will catch you next month with another BTS podcast.
I'll try to be there.